Why, hello there, my name's Depth Charge 2030. Today's StormWatch Month, day 24. For those playing at home and wondering what StormWatch Month is basically for the entire month of May. I'm talking about all things Stormwatch. And today we're talking about Stormwatch Final Orbit. And some background behind this, well, Stormwatch Final Orbit was like a crossover between Dark Horse and Wildstorm DC Comics. And it was basically the Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise and Stormwatch and Wildcats just duking it out. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Some stuff behind the trade. It contains issues 11 and 12, the final two issues from Stormwatch Volume 2, and the Wildcats Aliens crossover. So let's just jump right in and talk about this. Well, the first issue 11 of within this trade, basically what's going on, there's an asteroid. Well, it first starts off with like the aftermath of the Bleed storyline, where Jackson King, Weatherman, he's like having a bout with like an argument with Winter. They're just yelling at one another, and it ends with like Battalion punching Winter, and he's like, "Get out of my office." And then Winter just leaves. He's like sad. He's like, oh. But then there's like this asteroid heading towards Earth. So Stormwatch, they just send two ships to go and blow it up. And so while that's going on, like the members of Stormwatch are just talking and being like, yeah, that probably wasn't right, But then Jackson's like, I'm having doubts because I saw I saw me in the Bleed. And he was like, half broken, so he's like having doubts about himself. And then the Shuttles, like, they go dark. They stop talking back to Skywatch. There's no people talking back to them. No radio. The radios are like broken. It's like kind of eerie. Everyone's got like bad feelings about this. And then it cuts to, like, what everyone in Stormwatch is just doing. And it's just, well, Hellstrike and Fahrenheit in bed, just watching TV. Winter, he's getting a drink to, like, ease his, like, sorrows, with Flint trying to, like, say, hey, dude, it's alright. And Fuji, man, he's just sitting down and watching space. And then it ends with the asteroid blowing up, but with one of the shuttles still on the asteroid, so that's all gone. And the final shuttle, it's coming back, but no one is talking to them, so it's kind of like this eerie feeling that something's wrong with that shuttle. And then we get to the Wildcats versus Aliens crossover, where a escape pod comes from Skywatch, crashes down in Manhattan, destroys a couple buildings. See? This destroys a couple buildings. Dear God, Manhattan. And then it turns out it's Flint inside of the escape pod, and she just tells what happened on Skywatch. That people, like aliens, are on Skywatch, and she was basically trying to defend it, and then she eventually got knocked into an escape pod and got shot down onto Earth. So she got taken out of the fight early. And then Grifter, he's like the only human on like the Wildcats team, and he's like, hey, these are my people, they need our help. And there's a point in time where the Wildcats, they're just like, none of them like each other. Like, none of them. So it's like, it's kind of awkward for them all to like risk their necks out for humanity, because everyone except for Grifter is kind of an alien. So there's that. And so they all go on to Skywatch, they like beam up, they're like, haha, this is gonna be a walk in the park. Come on, Damonites, show yourselves. But here's the thing, they were expecting Damonites, but they kind of just find all this footage about facehuggers on staff members, and like blood filled the cockpit of the shuttle from the last issue, and they're just like, okay, this is pretty grim. So they just go in further into the Skywatch. That's when they run into the aliens, and they just start tearing. It's basically, these are just killing machines fighting kind of regular people. You think that, it's not like Superman and Batman and Wolverine where they could just go and beat the crap out of the aliens. No, these guys are getting the crap kicked out of them. And they even kind of just ask themselves, hey, where's StormWatch? You know, what happened to them? So they go into the officer's lounge, they find Fuji and Winter dead. Well, not, oh no, Fuji and Hellstrike. Oh god. Fuji, he's just dead. And then they find Fahrenheit, she's also dead. She had a chest burster burst out of her, and it breathes fire. So now they know the fact that if these aliens get down onto Earth, they'll just spread like wildfire. They're like unstoppable killing machines, and they've kind of just killed everyone on Skywatch. And so the wounded Wildcats, they just try to escape, and then they've decided to blow up the ship, Skywatch, and they're just like, hey, let's get rid of it. And then they find who's left on Skywatch. It's just Synergy, Battalion, Winter, and like several dozen like personnel. They're the survivors, and it's like, yeah, we gotta go. And so Winter, he himself, his like left hand, right hand, it's eaten. It's like not all there, so he's kind of injured. So they decide to blow up Skywatch, or at least wreck it, so no one can like, you know, no alien can get off of it. So Winter, he stays behind to pilot the thing into the sun while everyone else gets off. And yeah, I'm sorry to see Winter go out like this. He's just like, you know what, I can live with that, you know, because he's like injured, he's not going to be able to do much anyways. So yeah, and then the issue after that, it's like a funeral issue. We just see like a recap of what happened during the crossover. And then like there's this funeral where they kind of just like, everyone, a part of Stormwatch, just stands there and just, as they give the 7-gun salute to, like, Fuji, Winter, Hellstrike, and Fahrenheit, because they're dead. And that's sad. And then the UN, they disband Stormwatch because it was starting to get too expensive, and, like, Stormwatch Black, consisting of Jenny Sparks and, well, Jack Hawksmoor and Swift, they kind of do their own thing now. Jenny Sparks, she hunts down Henry Bendix and kills him, like shocking his head, like just does that to him. And it ends with them just with a portal opening up behind them, and they just walk through it, and that's the end of the trade. Dear God, there was a lot of people dying in this. It's just Stormwatch. It was Warren Ellis through and through. Just took a realistic approach to like superheroes and the aliens, where people die. People you care about die. Fuji's dead. Winter's dead. Dear God. Yeah, but it's a great stepping stone into Authority, but I'm not going to talk about Authority, so I'm going to talk about this. It was pretty much an entertaining, like, horror, like a horror comic, and a kind of fitting end for Stormwatch, you know. So, overall, I enjoyed it. It was like, I liked it, but the art really captured what, like, the mood of, like, on this abandoned kind of desolate space station, and yeah. So I gotta say, like, this is like the last thing I'm gonna review of Warren Ellis from Stormwatch. So Warren Ellis's run overall amazing. He just redefined Stormwatch in the best way possible, and yeah. So this has been Stormwatch Month, Day 24. My name is Depth Charge 2030, and I'll see y'all later.